Hi guys. So yeah, this is it. This is like where the magic happens. Um, this is where I study chess. I've got my chessboard. This chess set was given to me by a friend, good friend. These pieces. Actually, this board was given to me by my father when I was 18. So I've had this chessboard forever. I've got my pencils here and my notebooks. Got a good deal recently on some notebooks. Bought a whole bunch of notebooks. And the elephant in the room. A massive, disorganized pile of ancient and some not so ancient score sheets. What is this? 2001. So the idea here is to go through some old games and make some notes and some soul searching and try to figure out how to get better at chess. This game was played against an older gentleman, a sweet old man. His name was Boris Utkin, and he was a chess master from the Soviet Union who had come over to the United States, and he was a wonderful person. This was played in the Columbus Closed Championship, a yearly event of the top 10 players in Columbus, Ohio. And I do believe I lost this game. I'm so bad at score notation that I didn't even like circle who won the game, you know? So I should probably play through the game and see. Let's see if I can even follow my notation here. So the game started with d4, and now knight f6, bishop g5. It says Trompowsky system. Black played d5, and now I play bishop takes f6. In those days, I think this was always the idea that you were trying to play this move in the Trompowsky. Nowadays, white has other systems with pawn to e3 or knight d2 or even knight c3, transposing to other openings. But the purist would play bishop takes f6, e takes f6. In those days, again, g takes f6, which has now become the modern style, is like totally unknown. But e takes f6. I played e3. Now bishop to e6. And I played, let's see if I can read it, g3, a fianchettoed. Seems like an okay move. So far, so good. c6. Now knight d2. Perhaps with some ideas of c4. Or maybe perhaps planning to play rook b1 in response to queen b6. So knight d2. Here he plays f5. Stonewall. Control of the e4 square has been established. Bishop g2. I would actually probably ponder this again and wonder if, is bishop g2 really the optimal placement for this piece right now? Not just now. So after bishop g2, it says bishop d6, knight e2. And yeah, it must be knight d7. Again, my handwriting is so poor. Like, when it says this is like knight d, yeah, knight d something, knight d7. It must be knight d7. I played b3. Okay, so this is a pretty major decision, b3. Doesn't appear to be a losing move, though. Knight f6. c4. He castled. And so I played knight c3. Okay, bishop to b4. Queen c2, protecting the knight. Queen to a5, attacking the knight. And now I played a very strange move. Played knight here to the first rank. Why in the world would I not go rook c1? What was I afraid of? I mean, I might have been just simply annoyed by bishop to a3, but that's That's goofy. I can just play rook b1. No big deal. Oh, then he can come back. So that could have been it. I was just annoyed by this potential of like a repetition and unable to solve this scenario. Unable to admit that it's an even game and take a draw. So that could be it. Geez. So rook c1, bishop to c3, rook b1. What if he plays back? Interesting. Something that flashes through my mind is trying to make the pawn sacrifice b4 work, but it's probably totally ridiculous. Anyways, like, I could play rook d1 now, let him come back, and still play my goofy idea, perhaps? Or this is the goofy idea. To maintain control of c4 and play like so. And at least here I've gained a free move compared to having this position. So I played an uncompromising move, but it looks very strange. All right, let me find my spot in my notation. So it's in response to queen a5, I played knight 3 to b1. Now, Boris puts the pressure on the pin with knight e4. And I played the move a3. So this prepares, no doubt, to play rook to a2 and dislodge the pin. Dislodge the pinning bishop, that is. Knight takes knight. Knight takes knight. I think I'm losing a pawn here. Let's see. Yeah, this is pretty simple stuff. Pawn takes pawn. And now it must be... Boy, oh boy. Notation failure. So I played a3. It says knight takes knight. Knight takes knight. Pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn. And he played a nasty move here. Bishop c3. Attacking the rook and blocking the defense to the c4 point. I played rook c1. And now is when he can liquidate to a winning endgame, it looks like. So rook c1. Bishop takes. Queen takes. And now it says queen a5 again. Well... It means, okay, queen a3 it is. It's kind of an interesting thing. Not so interesting. Yeah, he just wins a pawn. But okay, I was probably not totally discouraged here. I mean, I do have some compensation. If I can put these rooks like so, there's the chance to attack on the queen side. So after castles, he played queen to d6. And, you know, what do you think? Does white have any shot here? Played rook fd1. Why not play rook b8? I should probably get on it and play this. Play this move fast. Put the rooks on the queen side. I played rook fd1. It says rook fd8, I believe. And now queen d5. I assume that's queen to a5. We'll find out. Now g6. And I go for the big break with d5. This is the kind of move that is... There's no turning back. I mean... Another thought for sure is c5 in an attempt to go back to the building pressure plan of rook b8 and so rook b double on the b line and so on. I like this more on just to look at it, but maybe d5 is meaningful. Let's see. So d5, chop chop, and now b6 hitting the queen. He has two passed pawns, so whatever's going on here, I better demonstrate it fast. Queen c3. Bishop d7. And then queen c7. Really? Playing so forcefully. Bishop e8. I like this move. Just kind of laughing at me. Go ahead, trade. What's the big deal? So I play bishop f1. He plays a5. Queen to b7. Okay, a4. Rook d2. Rook d2, a3. Looks like black's making some progress with these pawns. Played rook a2. Now rook b8. I assume that that's this rook. Queen c7, rook c7. Very compliant play by black. b5, d6, b4. Gee whiz. I played bishop c4. He pushes. I mean, these things are coming down the board. Take, take, push. Take, take, push. Still looking pretty hopeless here. Shunk, shunk. And now, of course, rook to b2. After rook to b2, I think I played rook d2. It's the last move of the game. It's pretty bad. But, of course, why don't I play rook here? Yeah? And then he's going to play a2, let's say, and now rook here. Still almost a game of chess. Now comes the move rook to b8. Simple idea. It's to attack the pin, queen a pawn. And I don't think the king move helps, because this would still threaten to play rook takes, and then rook to b1, queening the pawn ultimately. And yeah, this is a winning scenario. The only thing that's interesting to speculate on is situations, I think, where if you have the two rooks versus the two rooks, you better have your rooks, say, on the 7th rank for compensation or overpowering the pawn. But in this situation, white is passive, plus black has the initiative. Oh yeah, supposing it was like this, even if I could play rook to f1, this would fail to rook takes rook with the idea of rook b1, regardless of how white takes back. So, like I was saying, I mean, the only thing to speculate on is, well, you know, could I have ever engineered this position? And indeed, if you could engineer such a position where the rook is at least in its optimal placement behind the pawn on the 7th rank, can black win this position? And I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes for sure, by marching the king to b8 and then coming forward down the line. Because the black rook is still very active here, stopping this king, the white king, from approaching due to the weaknesses. So this would be a win. And then there's cases where the rook's behind the pawn, and this is much more drawable, especially if there's no way for the black king to hide in front of this pawn. This is probably a classic draw. All right, I think that's enough for this game. I'm just kind of getting a feel for a new format. I probably need a tripod. And yeah, just wanted to show my chess setup and my chess mess. Over and out.